station in Zambia, connecting you to the newsmakers and events that make news in the global village.
Good afternoon. This is the 5FM Radio Main News. The headlines. More tributes for the late 60th Republican President Edgar Chagwa Lungu continue to flow. Human rights defender and good governance activist Ngande Mwanajiti welcomes the arresting of 5 officers at Ratsa for corruption. And Israel kills at least 34 in Gaza today. 8-point violence continues. This bulletin is live on our Facebook, 5FM Radio Zambia, and YouTube, 5FM Radio Zambia. With the details, my name is Lance Sannie Banda. Most stakeholders have continued eulogizing Zambia's 60th Republican President Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu following his death on Thursday, 5th June 2025. The former head of state, aged 68, died at Mediclinic Medforum Hospital in Pretoria, South Africa, where he was receiving specialized treatment. Traditional leaders in Southern Province have joined other mourners in mourning the late former President Edgar Chagwa of Choma District and Chief Naluama of the District.
Maningi walimu wajisi to Edgar Chagwa Lungu wakatusia zona mavala awa so twalomba jisi jonse kuti tulire kaboto lukumbululede kamboto onse tubikide awo munzira njago hidamo so tulire kaboto tutusite maningi
abumi bubotu bwa butetete mabwari butetete mu kapasiti yabo bantu bari bubote bano babuti imuntu tabote no jibota pesi waro mora itapere bubotu bagali goma
bombobo
ibwagali gobe abubotu butambi kisigoro zaga yagwa zipatira zaga yagwa maloti manda abasirikali mojo mabagabika nganda imbotu administration bloko ibotu ya mojuru.
And economist and Cressy University Dean Faculty of Business Humanities and Education lecturer Esther Banda describes President Lungu's economic record as a mixture of bold investments and difficult trade-offs. She highlights that much of the public resources were directed towards infrastructure, roads, schools, hospitals, and airports, demonstrating a commitment to long-term national development. Ms. Banda observes that under Lungu's administration, Zambia embarked on expensive infrastructure development aligned with national priorities, highlighting that governments rather invested heavily in expanding road networks, boosting energy generation capacity, and improving healthcare delivery. She, however, notes that while such investments improved access to essential services, they were largely financed through external and domestic borrowing, which she said significantly increased Zambia's public debt burden. In meantime, Lusaka-based economist Kelvin Sanga says former President Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu saved Zambia during one of its most difficult transitional periods, adding that he demonstrated notable strength and commitment to the nation. Mr. Chisanga notes that late president led with dedication during a demanding period and left a legacy worth acknowledging with dignity. Mr. Chisanga adds that President Lungu was open and consultative in his leadership approach. Therefore, he calls for a dignified and honorable send-off befitting a former head of state. Opposition Republican Progressive Party RPP has cautioned political players to exercise restraint, responsibility, and patriotism during this national mourning period of the nation of the fallen former head of state. Party leader Leslie Chikuse, however, cautions Patriotic Front Secretary General Raphael Nakachinda on what he termed irresponsible statements regarding the passing on of President Lungu. Mr. Chikose advises that Mr. Nakachinda should be mindful of his utterances and the narratives he chooses to propagate in the wake of President Lungu's natural passing. Mr. Chikuse adds that Mr. Nakachinda's utterances are inciting unnecessary suspicion, division, and public anxiety, particularly at a time when unity and dignity should be a collective priority. He therefore underscores the need for the nation to reflect on the national legacy of the late head of state and not pushing unfounded narratives that have the potential to polarize the country and creating an unfavorable environment for Zambians to mourn with dignity. Human rights defender and good governance activist Ngande Mwanajiti has commended the Anti-Corruption Commission (SEC) for nabbing 5 officers at the Road Transport and Safety Agency (RATSA) for corruption allegations. Mr. Mwanajiti says the arresting of the officers at the road agency demonstrates that the fight against graft in the country is given serious attention. Mr. Mwanajiti, however, observes with concern the ongoing misunderstanding between the police and RATSA concerning competencies, among other issues, hence calling for harmonization of their operations. On Thursday, the Anti-Corruption Commission (SEC) arrested 5 officers from the Transport and Safety Agency (RATSA) for allegedly running a corruption commotion that undermined national road safety in exchange for bribes. The suspects are Joel Banda, registry clerk, Constance Masupelo, and Liakunda Ekashia, road traffic inspectors, and 2 others were allegedly issuing driving licenses, test certificates, and other official documents without following legal procedures, including bypassing physical inspections and competence tests.
It's a good development because it shows you that the fight against corruption, as I've said before, is a roller coaster. Yeah, it is a fight which is in top gear, and it means that there is no difference between grand corruption and petty corruption. All of them will be dealt with again. So that's an internal matter. We know that there have been issues between Russia and Zambia police in the past. Obviously, that has to do with competence and other concerns. Maybe what we should do is that continue to say that Russia and the police must harmonize their operations in as far as that is a very good point. In fact, I have said before that, yes, Russia is the mandate, but that mandate is in context, and the context is that they are dealing with the people. So one way of dealing with it is to go that route. The other is to go the route of ensuring that
Government has officially handed over 4 Constituency Development Fund (CDF) financed infrastructure projects and dispersed 2024 CDF empowerment grants and loans totaling 6,094,200 kwacha to 91 cooperatives in Sama district. Under the 2024 CDF allocation, projects which have successfully been completed and handed over to the community include Munwa Health Post, constructed at a total cost of 409,443 kwacha 14 1x3 classroom block at Mupundu Primary School, constructed at a cost of 789,358 kwacha 85 ngwe. Kampinda Police Post, built at a cost of 811,459 kwacha 66 ngwe, and a mini mortuary at Insama Rural Health Center, completed at a cost of 515,272 kwacha. Speaking during the commissioning ceremony, Northern Province Permanent Secretary said the handover of the projects is a clear testament to President Hakainde Hichilema's unwavering commitment to uplifting the lives of all Zambians through improved infrastructure and service delivery. He noted that the new facilities will enhance access to healthcare and education while improving safety and security in the district. During the same event, the permanent secretary also dispersed the empowerment fund to support entrepreneurship and job creation. 58 clubs and cooperatives received grants totaling to 2,320,000 kwacha, while 33 cooperatives received loans amounting to 3,774,200 kwacha. He encouraged the beneficiaries to use the resources responsibly and create wealth, grow their businesses, and lift their families out of poverty.
Kazi kuti mwamuno kuti la chinshi wanelundila impio musango kuleta kubantu. Ishinda la matenda la mashakupela umuntu pantu aliwa akashika nangu aliwa afika. Aliwa mutali nangu umwimpi. Wachilonga nino ishi nangu apepa kwi. Ninda la mashabonse awa yita lena Zambia. Echina changi lati kinda la mashera. Kudoko twafuma uko twale sobono lakale ukuthi la kama wachitabilongo chilonga nino fulani yena nga uja kweshinda lama akayinde alikayecho.
In meantime, Senior Chief Nsama commended the government for its efforts in constructing various projects.
Mochale into batupele pamulandula matransport kuyewote kwene chala moneka ko changu kwako mukutila lingirine ilya bakutwakula sunga ko bakutina balupwa bali abantu bapokerwa basasangwa kwa bali mutali ikiri cyakutotera sana rero nefine fikuro fyala fya mwana sanga ko fimo ifishira apana ngo fintu mwayishire sanga kumunishinshi kumwayishiremo tuleti bapeni wangu indala mama bakanso isha CDF pakuti fintu fisuke wangu twambe na ifo bene tulichire moneka konge icyalo kwena icyalo wena na bwambo okumoneka lero tuikonkana kofie cyo mutuwebere kofia abantu besu ifya ma politics fyali pwakale ifwe ma politics.
And in other news trending this afternoon, the opposition leadership movement candidate for Limesi constituency upcoming by-elections, Nebi Manda, has pledged to ensure that development projects in the area are inclusive of rural and hard-to-reach communities. The executive director of the Zambia Federation of Disabilities, Zafod, Mr. Justin Bakali, has revealed that some members within the organization have faced challenges in accessing constituency development fund CDF resources since the fund's inception. And in news from across our borders, Israeli forces have killed at least 8 Palestinians this morning who were waiting near an aid point in Al-Kaha near Rafah in South Gaza. At least 34 people have been killed in attacks across the strip. Meanwhile, the Israeli army says it recovered the body of Thai national Natapong Pinta, who was taken captive in Gaza on October 7, 2023. And in sports news, Arsenal forward Bukayo Saka has been left out of the England squad that will face Andorra in Saturday's World Cup qualifier. Atletico Madrid midfielder Conor Gallagher and Aston Villa striker Oli Watkins have also been left out of the matchday squad, with Watkins returning home with a minor injury. Speaking on Friday, head coach Thomas Tuchel revealed Saka had only completed one full training session during the week, with his omission from the squad to face Andorra likely to be linked to his fitness. Saka, 23, is yet to play under Tuchel after missing the German's first come-through injury. It remains to be seen whether Saka will play a part in the friendly against Senegal on 10 June to add to his 43 caps for the Three Lions. And now the weather.
Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy. Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
Luapula, Northern, Muchinga, Eastern, Copperbelt, Lusaka, and Southern provinces, including the southern parts of Western province, partly cloudy, slightly windy, and warm to hot. Maximum temperature will range between 24 degrees and 32 degrees Celsius. The evening will be partly cloudy, windy at times, and mild to cool. Northwestern province, including the northern parts of Western province, mainly sunny, slightly windy, and warm to hot. Maximum temperature will range between 25 degrees and 28 degrees Celsius. The evening will be mainly clear, slightly windy, and mild to cool. Ends our weather report, and that item brings us to the end of the news. But before we go, a recap of the stories that made headlines. More stakeholders have continued eulogizing Zambia's 60th Republican President Edgar Chagwa Lungu following his death on Thursday, 5th June 2025. Human rights defender and good governance activist Ngande Monagiti has commended the Anti-Corruption Commission (SEC) for nabbing 5 officers at the Road Transport and Safety Agency (RATSA) for corruption allegations. And finally, Israeli forces have killed at least 8 Palestinians this morning who were waiting near an aid point in Al Akawa near Rafah in South Gaza. For more news, follow us on Facebook, 5FM Radio Zambia, and YouTube, 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the Happy Hour of 5FM. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. My name is Lance Sannie. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.